Good morning, all of you. How are you all? Hope you're fine. In every video, when I'm coming, I will be asking the same questions. Then, nobody didn't ask me till now. How am here? Did you ask any time? Okay, no problem. We are fine here. Uh, while coming to our lesson, crop production. While coming to our lesson crop production, we have completed many topics and I given you the homeworks not related to the or not inside the textbook. When I am giving these homeworks, you might have been thinking why mom is giving such type of homeworks. It is not in the textbook. Actually, it should not be in the textbook because when we are taking a topic or we are giving you a topic for teaching, I will give you only the textbook portion while teaching, but you can search anywhere. Then you will be gathering many ideas regarding to the topic, related to the topic, so that I am giving widely, okay? It will be benefit for you later also. So, while coming to the next topic, we have completed preparing the soil. How to prepare the soil I explained very clearly in that audio. And today we are going to take soil, how to sowing the seeds. Okay, after the soil preparation, directly we will sow the seeds. Then directly can we sow the seeds? No. And today I am going to read the paragraph wise, and after that I will explain you line by line. Okay, then only beneficial for you, I think. Why? Because I given you 2 times the homeworks, but the answer was not in proper way. So I could understand and I recognized one thing. You are not getting the concept properly, it seems. No problem. So today I am giving you the paragraph wise. Okay. Then let's read the paragraph. Sowing of seeds. When soil is plowed and leveled, seeds are sown in it. Before sowing seeds, selection of healthy seeds is done by putting seeds in water. Defective floating seeds are rejected. The seeds which remain submerged in water are selected for sowing. The seeds should be sown at the right depth in the soil. If sown at greater depth, they will not get sufficient air for respiration and germination. The shoot will not come out of the soil. On the other hand, if seeds are sown on the surface, they will be eaten by the birds. Also, there should be proper spacing between the seeds so that there is less competition for the water, nutrients, sunlight, etc. Sowing can be done manually or by using a seed drill. Did you get the points? Okay, I will giving you an explanation. When the soil is proper, already we have completed the soil preparation. Now the soil is ready for sowing the seeds. So before sowing the seeds, first what we have to do, we should select the healthy seeds. When the seeds are healthy, the yield will be very healthy. Means we will get the yield in a large amount. When the seeds are not healthy, not good, the profit or the yield or the income, everything will be collapsed. So first we have to select the healthy seeds for sowing. Okay, then how can we select the healthy seeds? We have to take the seeds, we will put into the water. Why should we put into the water? Because the good seeds will be submerged into the water. Submerged means it will go deep into the water. And the seeds which is floating on the surface will not be good for sowing. That will be defective. That will be not good. So, the seeds which will be submerged into the water we will take out, and these seeds are good for sowing. Okay. That is the first thing for sowing the seeds. Selection of the healthy seeds. And the second thing, okay, how to sowing the seeds into the soil. That is the next thing. It should be very clearly, very properly, in a proper depth, we should sow the seeds. Otherwise, what will happen? First thing, when if we are not sowing the seeds in the proper depth, on the accurate depth, what will happen? The seeds will not get sufficient air. If it is not getting the sufficient air, it will not germinate. That means the shoot will not come out. So, shoot means पौधा का वो लकड़ी का पोर्शन है ना, वो बाहर नहीं आएगा. सीड्स को सफिशिएंट एयर नहीं मिला है तो so we should take the proper depth when we are sowing the seeds. That is the second thing. Okay, next thing. Okay, if we are not getting the proper depth, simply we are sowing the seeds. Simply if we are sowing, what will happen? The seeds will be on the upper surface, upper layer of the soil. Then the another problem, the birds will be coming under, it will eat the seeds. That is the second portion. Then also we will not get the proper yield. So the two things we have to note. First one, it should have the proper depth when we are sowing, and we should not simply throw on the upper surface of the soil. Okay, then if the seeds are sown on the surface, they will be eaten by the birds, as I told. Also, there should be proper spacing between the seeds. Suppose you 10 children in a class. If 10 children are sitting in a one bench, will you get the proper place for writing, reading and sitting? No, you won't get the proper place. And you will be very congested. You may feel very boring when you are sitting there, uncomfortable feeling. So you may be jump from there, and you will go and sit in another place. There you will get enough space, fresh air, and it will be very comfortable for you for sitting and learning. The same thing is happening in the case of the seeds also when we are sowing. Suppose a large group of plants are sowing in a piece of land. What will happen? The nutrients, water, air, there will be a competition for getting these all things. So all the plants will not grow properly. All the plants are not getting the nutrients properly. So it will make the problem for the growth of the plants. So this proper spacing will be very important. So proper depth and proper depth and proper spacing. We need these two things. Okay, understand? And next, how to sow the seeds. In manually we can sow the seeds by the hand. That is known as broadcasting. And nowadays we can use the seed drill. What is the benefit of the seed drill? When we are using the seed drills, the proper depth and proper space we can provide for the seeds when we are sowing the seeds. But manually if we are doing, it won't be possible. But also the people are doing manually. That is known as the broadcasting. Okay, understand? So two new words you have learned from here: broadcasting and seed drills. What is broadcasting? The method of sowing seeds by manually is known as broadcasting. And seed drill is a new technological method which is using to sow the seeds. That is seed drill. That is a machine. Okay, that seed drill is using for the better method to sow the seeds. Understand? Okay, next we prepared the soil. Now we are ready to sow the seeds. Everything is ready. We took the seeds and we kept it there to sow. Okay. Next, directly we can sow. No, directly we cannot sow. In some cases of the crop, we will make a nursery first. Means, first we will grow these seeds into the nursery, and from there to seedlings we will transfer to the main field for sowing. That process is known as transplantation. What I told you, the process of transferring healthy seeds from the plot or the nursery to the main field is known as transplantation. I will read you about the transplantation. It is the process of transferring healthy seeds from the plot, nursery, to the main field. Transplantation is common in the cultivation of paddy and vegetables. During transplantation, seedlings are planted in a well-prepared field at a proper distance in rows. Have you ever seen that transplantation? Yes, of course you know these all things because you are living around the farmers. So if you are getting the time, you have to go 2-3 farms and you can observe the things what is happening there. Okay, in the field also you can go and you have to observe which are the implements are using there, what are the materials they are using, what are the materials required for these all things. You can observe these all things, then only you will get many ideas, because life is practicals. Like that, this is also practical. These knowledge You won't get the textbooks. You can acquire from your surroundings because many farmers are living near you. So while coming to the topic transplantation, transplantation means the transferring of healthy seedlings from the plot or to the nursery to the main field. Means before sowing we will take the whole bunches of or the bundle of the or the cluster of the seedlings, and we will transfer this to the main field, and manually we are using these two rows and columns in a particular depth and a proper space. That process is known as transplantation. Okay, it's clear. Next, methods to improve the soil fertility. Simply, if we sow the seeds, it won't grow. So, first what we have to do, we should improve the soil fertility. Everything is depending upon the soil fertility. If you are not giving, suppose a child, if we are not giving the nutritious food to him, will he grow? No. He will grow, but he will be ill health, not proper immunity, and always will be getting sick. Such problems will follow him even after growth also. So in the case of human beings, or in the case also plants also, we have to give the proper nutrition. Hence, we should improve the soil fertility. So next we are going to discuss about the how to improve the soil fertility. Okay, let's come to the portion. When crops are grown year after year in the same field, the soil becomes deficient in the required nutrients and therefore less fertile. There are various ways in which nutrients in the soil can be replenished and thus fertility can be improved. Some such ways are manuring, crop rotation, mixed cropping and fallow field. Okay, what are the methods? Manuring, crop rotation, mixed cropping and fallow field. These are the methods to use to improve soil fertility. Means year after year we are growing the seeds in the field. So automatically the manures or the fertility of the soil which is present, or the nutrients which is present in the soil will be becoming less, because the roots of the plants are going very deeply into the soil and it is absorbing the nutrients from the soil. It is very common. So of course the nutrients will be becoming less. So as per the less amount we have to add the manures, or we have to add the nutrients, or we have to use the techniques to improve the fertility of the soil. That methods we are going to discuss here. What are the methods we should apply? So the first thing I told, manuring. Next, crop rotation. Next, mixed cropping and fallow fields. Actually these all the methods you are aware of that, but the problem is in the English language. That's only the problem. When I am explaining, you will gradually let you know that what is the methods, because I told surrounding you in your neighborhood also you can see the farmers are using these all the techniques. Even in your home also parents are using these techniques. Suppose your grandparents, they know these methods. You can ask them what are the methods we are using in the field for improve the soil fertility. Ask in Hindi language, you can convert to the Hindi language and send it to me. Okay. So using manures and fertilizers, first thing is. So manures and fertilizers are added to the soil to add the nutrients that crops would need to give good yield. What is the main point? We have to add the nutrients to the soil, then only we will get the good yield. Good benefit and the profit and everything. So first we will go to the manure. It is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of the plant and animal waste by the action of microbes. Crops and vegetables residues, cow dung, sludge from the treatment of sewage, etc. make a good manure. Manures are of three kinds: farmyard manure, compost and green manure. These all you are aware of that. Manure, what is meant by manure? Manure means the materials which are adding to the soil to improve the fertility of the soil. That is in the simple language, manures. And how it will work? It will be working with the action of the microbes. Microbes means the microorganisms which is present into the soil. That will be aerobic bacteria or anaerobic bacteria. The action of this bacteria, automatically the nutrients will be dissolved into the soil. And what are the materials we are using? Crop and vegetable residues, cow dung, sludge from the treatment of sewage, etc. Crop and vegetable residues means after the cutting. after the cultivation of a crop, there will be some wastes. That wastes we can use, and cow dung, cow urine. These all are very good manures. And manures are of three kinds. What are the three kinds of manures? Farmyard manure, compost, and green manure. First one is farmyard manure. Farmyard manure is prepared by storing cow dung, cow urine, and waste straw and other dairy waste in a pit and allowing it to get decomposed by the microbes. This manure is rich in nutrients like nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. What is that? All of you are having cows at your home. Every houses will have the cows. So you will be aware of cow dung, cow urine and what are the waste materials which is after eating the straw. These all are the waste materials. These all the materials we will put into the pit. Pit means somewhat big pit. We will make the pit and these all things we will put into the pit and days and months it will be getting there and it will be very good manure. We will getting the last. These manures we can directly apply or throw into the field and it will gradually dissolve with the water into the soil. Okay, that is farmyard manure. Farmyard manure what we are using cow dung, urine and straw. These materials we are using. Okay, and these manures are rich in nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. Okay, that is farmyard manure. Farmyard manure, the manure is which is mainly getting from the cow dung. Okay, and next compost. Compost is prepared from vegetable peels, plant residues and animal waste by the action of aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. Compost gets ready in 3 to 6 months. The process of decomposting can be enhanced by introducing a species of earthworm called red worms. This is called vermicomposting. This is called a vermicomposting. And you have already learned this in 6th class or 7th class I think about the vermicomposting and how to prepare the vermicomposting. These all things. Next compost. Compost, how to make the compost? Compost is a very good manure for the plants. And compost we will household mainly we can make use the compost for the household in the kitchen. Means in the kitchen what are the materials are getting means vegetable peels, eggshells and damaged or decayed vegetables. These all will be mixed and this mixing of wastes will be very good manure for the plants. और वेजिटेबल का छील का, अंडा का ऊपर का शेल, ऐसा वाला कुछ किचन में हम लोग कुकिंग के बाद हम लोग को कुछ वेस्ट मिलेगा वो वेजिटेबल कट करने के बाद, ऐसा वो वेस्ट पूरा हम लोग रखे ज़्यादा दिन रखना है, 1 या 2 दिन में नहीं हो पाएगा, ज़्यादा दिन रखना है, वो हम लोग लेके प्लांट्स को ऐड करेगा तो वो बहुत अच्छा मैन्योर है। वो न्यूट्रिएंट्स ज़्यादा न्यूट्रिएंट्स मिलेगा, 1 या 2 नहीं है, ज़्यादा न्यूट्रिएंट्स उसमें मिलेगा, वो पूरा न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्लांट्स को बहुत फ़ायदा करेगा। That is compost. So compost is prepared compost is making with the help of aerobic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria मतलब the bacteria which is using or working with the help of oxygen, using oxygen, that is aerobic bacteria. And what is anaerobic bacteria? It doesn't need oxygen. Okay. Next, vermicompost. Vermicompost means what is vermicompost? Vermicompost is making with the help of worms. Worms are known as farmer's friend, isn't it? So, vermicompost is preparing with the help of worms. What's the name of that worm? Red worm. Red worm is helping to make the vermicompost. As you know, already in 7th class you have learned how to make the vermicompost. Okay. And I will be giving you the question how to make the vermicompost later. So, what is the difference between compost and vermicompost? Did you understand? What's the difference? Vermicompost means it is making with the help of worms. Compost is making with the help of aerobic bacteria. That's the difference between compost and vermicompost. Okay. I hope you got it these points. And next, our third point, green manure. Green manure, a type of crops grown primarily to add the nutrients and organic matter to the soil, is green manure. It is grown for a specific period and then plowed back into the soil. Legume crops are mainly used as green manure. Legumes have the ability of acquiring nitrogen from the air with the help of the bacteria living in their nodules. The legumes most commonly used as green manure crops are lentils and cowpea. Understand what is green manure? Green manure means some plants we are using as green manure, means directly we can use in the field. Otherwise, cut it and directly we can put it to the soil also. What is the main benefit of this green manure? Some plants having the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Atmospheric nitrogen means, as you know, air is a mixture of number of gases. What are the gases as present in the air? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, another some gases. These all are present in the air. So air is a mixture of number of gases. But the plants cannot, or not all the plants, some plants cannot fix the direct atmospheric nitrogens to the soil. So, but some plants are having that ability. They can fix the atmospheric oxygen directly to the soil, and automatically it will mix or dissolve into the soil also. Then the plants cannot absorb. Then who will absorb? The plant's nodule. Nodule means which is present in the roots of the plants. These nodules having some bacteria. These bacteria will help the atmospheric nitrogen to fix and dissolve into the soil. That process is going on there. So these green manures actually, if we are sowing into the, or we are cultivating into the soil, it will be very useful, beneficiary for another plants, because nitrogen is a very essential element for the growth of the plants. So of course it will help to fix the atmospheric nitrogen to the soil. Understand? So that is the main peculiarity of the green manure. Okay. Then legumes are most commonly used as a green manure. It is a very small shrub legume which is using as the fixing of the atmospheric nitrogen to the soil. For which crops? Lentil and cowpea. Okay. Next, fertilizers. Fertilizers are inorganic chemicals. Then what are organic chemicals? Organic chemicals are chemicals which are obtaining from the nature. That is organic chemicals. Then what is inorganic chemicals? Inorganic chemicals are mostly by the man-made, or it is making from the chemicals. That is the difference between organic and inorganic. Organic will be eco-friendly and it will be beneficial for human beings as well as the animals also. But inorganic are not eco-friendly. Okay. So fertilizers. So these inorganic chemical substances prepared in the factories. Fertilizers are rich in one or two nutrients and are used as and when needed. For example, urea is common nitrogenous fertilizers, while superphosphate is a phosphate fertilizers. Understand? Means just now we were discussing about the green manure. I told green manure, suppose we are making the compost or the vermicompost having lot of nutrients. We cannot differentiate phosphorus is here, nitrogen is here, or sulfate is here. All are mixing, all are mixed there, and when we are putting into the or throwing into the soil, it will be mixed or dissolved into the soil, and the plants can absorb these all very easily. There is no deficiency because all are available there. But in the case of the chemical fertilizers, some fertilizers are making on the basis of suppose sulfate or nitrogenous fertilizers. If nitrogenous fertilizers are containing only nitrogen, sulfur is not available there, or potassium is not available there. If you want the potassium based fertilizer, you have to buy that. If you want nitrogenous fertilizers, you have to buy only nitrogenous fertilizers. That is the difference between the chemical fertilizers and the organic fertilizers. Always chemical fertilizers are harmful to the field because gradually the fertility of the soil will be reducing with the action of this. But organic fertilizers are beneficiary for the soil and it won't reduce the soil fertility. Okay, so these are making in the factories, but green manures or organic chemicals we are making in the nature itself only we are making. Okay, understand the difference between chemical fertilizers and organic fertilizers. let's see the differences between the manuals and the fertilizers. Okay. While coming to the differences between the manuals and fertilizers, there is two columns. This you listen very carefully. When you have to learn this, you have to make two columns. In the first column you have to write manure, and the second column you have to write fertilizers. Means in the middle you have to draw a line and you have to write the differences. Means manures, first more than 5 or 6 points you will get that you have to write here, and the next points you have to write here about the fertilizers column. Okay, make rows and columns and write the differences. Okay. So here I will be going to explain that differences between the manures and the fertilizers. Manures, actually directly if you are sitting in the classrooms, I won't no need to explain this. I would have been asking two questions. You could have been to give me the answers, because after the explanation only you would be getting the answer. Okay, but also I will explain you. Manures. Manures, already I told, manure is a natural organic substance. Manure means natural organic substance. Then what is fertilizer? Inorganic substance. That is chemical substance. Second, manure supplies most nutrients to remove general deficiency of the soil. That means, I will tell you an example. Suppose when we are fall sick, sometimes we will go to doctor, we will seek the advice from the doctor. The doctor will tell you to take this syrup or some medicines. The doctor will provide us to take that medicine. We will get only that medicinal benefit. But some doctors will tell you to take good food. Then what is the difference between this manure and fertilizers? Actually these medicines are chemical substances. But good food means what are the nutrients you needed to the body, that we will get from the food. But it will take some time. Understand what I told at this point? But this food, suppose 1 or 2 days if you are taking the food, you won't get the benefit. Continuously if you are continue to take good food or nutritious or balanced food, you will get the benefit after 2-3 months. The same thing is happening in the case of in the manures also. Okay, so manure will take more time to do the actions, but fertilizers will do very immediate action. If you take the medicine, immediately you will get the result. The same thing is happening here in the case also. So manure supplies most nutrients. Fertilizers are giving only specific nutrients. Okay, which you needed, that. Next, manure is bulky and thus not easy to store. Suppose I told you, if you are making the vermicompost, it need a very big pit. That pit we are making the vermicompost. Suppose if we are going to take the compost also, we need a pit. That is also space needed to do the things. And green manure, if you are going to apply to the field, there is also need the spaces. But in the case of the fertilizers, you need 1 or 2 sacks. It will be enough. Then the whole field you can apply these fertilizers. Okay. So manure will be bulky and fertilizer will be compact and it is easy to store. Okay. Next, manure is not water soluble. Manure is not water soluble. As I told, it will take 3 to 6 months to make this material. Suppose manure or compost or vermicompost. But fertilizers are available in the form of granules or in the form of powder. Sometimes it is available in the solution form also. So directly we can spray to the field. It will be dissolved into the water. That is the difference. That manures act very slowly. Manure will be act very slowly means already I told it will take months to be prepared. But fertilizers act very quickly and they are environment friendly. That is the main point. Green manures or manures are eco-friendly and fertilizers are not eco-friendly. It is very harmful to the field also. Understand? These are the differences. So, I hope you to understand these topics and listen very carefully. Listen very carefully, use maximum headset, then you can concentrate on the things what you are going to do. Not only this, anything. Okay. And 3 questions I will be asking you. 3 questions. Tomorrow I will give you this manually this question. Orally I am not going to tell. First to listen the video. The question will be coming after following the video. Okay. Then